Okay, Coach Michaels, Norristown with a 14-0 lead at the half. And what were your impressions of the first half of play? Let's start number one with Norristown, offensively and defensively.
Well, I'm sure Coach Grove is not totally pleased with his Norristown offense. They have broke two long runs for touchdowns, but they also have struggled a little bit here and there. I think in the second half, I would look for Norristown to be a little bit more explosive, maybe go to the air a little bit more. And as I mentioned and said earlier, I think Jamal Alford has to get involved a little bit more with the offense and that option to run the ball.
Now defensively, still talking about Norristown. They've been very successful, as you pointed out quite accurately numerous times during the first half, very successful in stopping Cheltenham on first down. What do you attribute that to? Is that necessarily Cheltenham not making an adjustment and maybe going to something differently, or is Norristown seeing something that can spark them to be able to make that stop early in the count?
Well, Tom, like you and I scout teams during basketball season, I'm sure Coach Grove and his staff do an excellent job of scouting teams throughout the year. And I would say that Cheltenham predominantly is a run team on first down, and Norristown right now I think is loading up on that and has managed to stuff Cheltenham on first down several occasions.
All right, you're a football coach. You're in charge now of talking and making the adjustments for the Cheltenham offense to come out here in the second half. What would you attempt to do? What do you think Coach Groh? You saw his quarterback doesn't have a bad arm. You know their backs are athletic and fast. What would you do as a coach if you're 14 points behind Norristown, coming out in the second half, receiving the ball?
Well, number 24, Jesse Patterson, has had some pretty good success running the ball. I wish I had the stats on him for that first half, but we saw him break a couple decent runs. I would continue putting the ball in his hands. And, I think, as I mentioned earlier, to get over on this Norristown defense, you're going to have to surprise them. You're going to have to give them something that they haven't seen. And I think, you could look for some sort of trickery from Cheltenham in this second half, whether it be a halfback option, a reverse, something of that nature.
I was thinking along the same lines, like a misdirection, the type of situation that we saw in the first half, both Cheltenham running a play and Norristown running a play that resembled some type of a wing T, a Delaware wing T type of misdirection. Norristown pursues to the ball so quickly, maybe they would over pursue and you can go against the grain with some type of misdirection.
Yep.
And hopefully break one of those backs, because we saw Patterson at the end of the first half was one broken tackle away from going 85 yards.
Absolutely. But, as you indicated earlier, this Norristown defense is so stingy. They were stingy last season. They're stingy this season. And they're just playing very well right now. And although Coach Grove may not be completely satisfied with the offense, he has got to be ecstatic with the way his defense is playing.
Right. And, again, it's a team effort. They fly to the ball. They swarm, like you mentioned, like swarming bees. And I'm sure Coach Grove now is very interested to maybe see the defense step up right here at the start of the second half, set the tone, and don't give Cheltenham any reason to feel that they're going to be allowed to get back in this game.
Right, and for the most part, this has been a fairly clean game as far as turnovers are concerned. I know we did have the interception there towards the end by the Cheltenham defender, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the only turnover of the game. Is it, Tom?
That is correct. All right, we're ready for the start of the second half. Fazzari kicking off for Norristown. Both Ellensworth and Patterson are deep for the Panthers.
Jordan Fazzari will kick off for Norristown.
That's Fazzari's healthiest kick to date here. And there's the very skilled, talented number 5, as I mentioned.
That's Kevin Singleton. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was quarterback Frank Ellensworth, Bill. And as I said, that's, you question sometimes, why do you have your quarterback risking an injury back to receive a kickoff or a punt? But if he's their best athlete, you need to get points on the board quickly.
Absolutely. Ellensworth is a tremendous athlete, and perhaps I made the comment about Alford. Perhaps Cheltenham is going to try to involve their best athlete, Ellensworth, a little bit more in running the ball.
And here he is in the I formation, straight handoff off tackle. They're still trying to break that first down, Coach, and Norristown is there to answer the call time and time again. Gain of about 2. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Samba in on the stop there.
Along with John Ivins.
Now here we have a 2nd and 8. Cheltenham demonstrated they demonstrated the same trend, running off tackle every single first down. They've got to change up on that, because it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that that's what they're going to do. There's the option. Ellensworth on the keeper.
Well,
that's it upfield.
That's the run I was talking about, the option play, but Norristown just doing an outstanding job of sniffing that out, and I believe that's something that I'm sure Coach Grove and his staff worked on.
Right. And they didn't have a lot of time to work on it. That makes it even more impressive that their defense is showing the proper recognition. They're utilizing the keys, reading the keys very, very well, and there's individual responsibilities for different players on that option to control.
Long 3rd down now for Cheltenham.
I formation. McGee split out. Douglas split out. Ellensworth back to pass. He's got time now. He's scrambling, being chased by Kirk Barry, and now being pursued by, I believe that was number 5. I'll have to see.
That's Kevin Singleton. Number 5 is Kevin Singleton for Norristown.
Number 5, Kevin Singleton on the stop.
Strong safety for Norristown.
Kirk Burry made an excellent play, stringing Ellensworth out on that scramble, and that brings up a 4th down and 4, and a punting situation for Kyle Douglas. Ricky Preet
and if
about the 20-yard line. He looks like he could take this one in the air. He's going to have a little momentum if he could break that tackle, and he did. And there's a flag on the play, and I did not see anything, and we don't have the privilege of instant replay here on NASD TV.
Well, I do believe we have an illegal block down around the 25-yard line. I couldn't tell whether it was a hold or a block to the back, but I do believe that's going to be the call, and there it is from the official, a clipping call against the Norristown Eagles.
And these officials are doing an outstanding job. There are very few penalties. Officials do a great job, but a lot of times most penalties that occur that are backbreakers have nothing to do with the success of the play. It's something, and I call that why do certain football players have that mentality. You don't have to touch the guy, let him go. You got a back breaking for a score.
Yeah, and that,
but the officials have to call that.
That does drive coaches crazy, and I'm sure Coach Grove is not happy with that, backing his squad up to the 15-yard line now.
Now, see, we can't say anything negative about officials because we have John Cadoba up here. We have Skeet Mars up. We have everybody up here that probably wants to say just nice things about the official. And I don't know about you, Billy, but I never said a negative thing about any official.
Absolutely. Never in my life.
Okay, a big penalty that's going to hurt the Eagles. Going to push them back 1st and 10. Push them all the way back to the 15-yard line where they'll take over. Alfred at quarterback, Sam at fullback. And I believe that's number 22 who's going to get the ball off of right tackle, James Jacobs. Brought down by number 73.
Number 73 on the tackle for Cheltenham.
He's a substitute defensive lineman in here at the second half. We'll get his name for you in a minute. Cheltenham.
That's Evan Gallo, number 73. He's a junior.
Okay, that's Evan Gallo. We had him listed at number 68. He's 73, Coach?
Number 73.
To change that on my scouting board here. Being spun down to the ground is number 22, James Jacobs.
Jacobs on the Carry.
Picked up about 6 or 7 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, called a long one for Norristown.
Now, you think about what the coaches were talking about at halftime, and one of the things that I'm sure Coach Grove from Cheltenham told his defense was that, hey, when this number 22 is scooting through there, please make sure you wrap him up and follow through on our tackles.
Easier said than done, though. Isn't that right, Coach? Now, let's see if Norristown they have the push. I think the forward push may have gotten them to the 25-yard line. We'll have to see when they unpile. First down, Norristown. Official signals. Now, once again, you're going to hear us refer to the coaches by their last name. Norristown's Coach Grove, Cheltenham's Coach Grow. All right? So don't think that we're giving credit for one man coaching both teams.
That's an excellent clarification.
This is number 22. Again, Jacobs takes the pitch from Alford around the right side, cuts it up the field to about the 36-yard line. It's called a gain of 6 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 4.
If I'm the head coach for Cheltenham, Coach Groh, I am holding my breath every time I see number 22, James Jacobs, carry the ball. He just looks so quick and so elusive.
Well, like you mentioned in the first half, he has a sense of urgency. Every time he touches the ball, he's thinking touchdown. And that mentality is what you have to have when you're a running back in this tough sport. Preet on the reception from Alford. And that's another indication of the respect that Cheltenham's defense has, Coach, for the Eagles' speed, because he was given a great cushion there to catch that football.
Absolutely. You know, the faster the receivers are, the bigger that cushion gets. And right now, Cheltenham is giving Norristown at least 6-7 yards off the ball.
1st and 10, ball at the Eagle 40. And here's Jacobs again, squirming ahead for about 3. He was hitting the backfield, still got 3 yards out of it, Coach.
He's relentless. He wants to get to that end zone.
All right, there's a Norristown Eagle down. It looks like a 7. Is it 7? Yes, Lou Samba. The Eagles training staff, Dennis Flynn, and the team doctor are right on the 42-yard line looking at Lou Samba.
They seem to be looking at his knee.
You know, if Norristown coming into this season had any player that was of a high profile and maybe ticketed for possible Division I looks or 1AA, it would be number 7, Lou Samba. And it's great to see him walking off under his own power.
Well, that's good news for Norristown and Coach Grove.
Probably didn't eat enough of that delicious pasta from the cafeteria today. Maybe came up with a cramp.
I won't comment on that.
Okay, no, you better not, Coach. Number 3, Alfred again over the ball, backs in the I formation, handoff again, thrown for a loss. This time is number 22, James Jacobs. Good pursuit and penetration by number 55, Evan Robinson, a defensive end, and again, defensive captain for Cheltenham.
You have to give credit again. I know I said it before, but you know this Cheltenham team is really impressing me, Tom. They come into this game 0-4 against a 4-0 Norristown team, and you know they're down 2 touchdowns, but you know those kids aren't quitting.
Exactly right, and you know the 4 losses they have, I don't think were the real powers. So this is the best team that they faced, this Norristown team, and they're answering the challenge. But good play over there, good reception by, I believe that's number 32. Is that right, Coach?
That is 32, Jason Thompson.
One thing you'll learn, though, Coach Michaels, as you coach and teach in Norristown more, Norristown is a team in most sports that everybody plays a little bit harder against, gets up for, because of the notoriety and reputation and winning tradition that they bring to the playing field and the basketball court. So the kids have to understand that too. Nobody's going to roll over and play dead. Ricky Prate's going to be punting once again. Ball's going to hit on the 30-yard line, taking Norristown roll to about the 17, down by number 54 for Norristown. One of the special team players, Alan Grantham.
About the 17-yard line.
Cheltenham 1st and 10 here, Coach. As time's winding down here in the third quarter, Cheltenham's got to do something quickly or they'll run out of time. This is a very important series, I believe, for them if they expect to get back in the game.
It really is. They need to get something going offensively. 4:48 left in this third quarter. They're on their 17-yard line, it appears, and Cheltenham just needs to string together some first downs.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Panthers, 17-yard line. Backs in the eye, Ellensworth rolling out right, passing with the left hand, overshoots his receiver, defended on the play.
That's number 5, Kevin Singleton.
Okay, Norristown team the last couple weeks has shown a lot of discipline, and when I say discipline, they don't jump off sides, they're well coached, they execute well, and that's a tribute not only to Coach Grove, but their assistant coaches, and they are in order: Victor Bellamy, Anthony Cicchino, Jack Griffiths, Michael Grove, Brian Kennedy, Tom Pirantazzi, Rochin Luzon, Mark Sikinski, and Joe Irvone. The Norristown football coaching staff doing a fine job as always.
Great that you would mention that, Tom. Any head coach knows that his success is only going to go as far as his assistants will allow them.
Okay, there's that elusive back that we were talking about, breaks in the open, across the 40-yard line. That's number 24, Jesse Patterson. Good back, Coach. Real good back.
He is. I'm impressed with him. And, you know, we talked earlier about the starting tailback for Cheltenham being out, Tyree Towns. But, geez, it looks like they haven't missed a beat by replacing him with Jesse Patterson. Four 4:20 left in the third quarter.
Little hesitation there, little confusion. I believe the quarterback called for another ball. Perhaps the ball, it's getting a little cooler out here, and the field's somewhat muddy from the onslaught of rain that we had. So there must be a little bit of mist on the ball. 1st and 10 at the 41. Direct handoff to number 33, to fullback, and he's off and running on an outstanding gain. Takes the ball down to the Eagle 32-yard line. That's number 33, Norman Raisin. And something that I addressed early in the game, I thought as the game progressed, Norristown would be the stronger team toward the end of the game in the second half. And that still may come to fruition, but Cheltenham looks fresh right now. And they have a nice little drive going here on two nice gains by both number 24 Patterson and 33 Raisin. 1st and 10 ball on the 33, and there's Patterson again, veer to the outside, and makes a nice play. Went around number 1, Hakeem Jones, and Cheltenham, Billy, is on the move.
Boy, really showing a lot of life here, Cheltenham, and you know, a tribute to their offensive line, opening up holes, and as we saw in the first half, Jesse Patterson with great athleticism, and boy, I was really impressed with Norman Raisin. What a big kid he is.
Yeah, he's a load to take down, and he hasn't been able to get out into the secondary until that most recent run. And there he is again, number 33, Raisin, inside the 10 to about the 9.
Now, Tom, on that play, I'll tell you, Cheltenham was awfully close to being offsides, but you know, they are really surging off the ball. They do have the advantage of knowing the snap count, and they are just surging off the ball right now and backing Norristown up.
I thought the same thing on the last two plays. The right side lineman left a little bit early, but we're way up here and the referee's looking at the ball, and if that's synchronized simultaneously, the snap and the movement, then it's no infraction. That time, Norristown defense, if you can identify that tackler, Bill, number 11's in there, and that's Dana Smith. That time the Norristown defense did its job, as they have been consistently doing it up to this point. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 8. And you know that Cheltenham is in 4 down territory now. They're not going to attempt a field goal. They have 2 downs to get in the end zone or get a 1st down.
It's always interesting to see the play calling inside the red zone.
Well, there's a very basic handoff to the fullback, and he's going to take that ball close to the 5-yard line. I believe he's going to be short of the 1st down, bringing up a 4th and 2.
Well, that was 5'11", 205-pound fullback, junior Norman Raisin.
As I said, he's a load. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the ball here, or maybe a fake to him and the option play. This is huge, monumental, this play for the Panthers. Ellensworth, straight direct handoff, and he didn't get it. He did not get it. I think the Eagles defense held number 3, Jamal Alford, coming directly over, saw that the effort came up inches short. Norristown's going to take over, but they're going to take over, Coach, in dangerous territory here, deep in their own territory.
Yeah, you want to be very careful receiving the ball this far back towards your end zone. Any kind of mistake could be extremely bad for Norristown right now. We'll see if Coach Grove is conservative with his play calling here, continuing to run off tackle like they've been doing.
Well, let's see if the surprise element's in. You have to be safe down here, and you want to get your breathing room, so you go to your bread and butter. You go to Samba. Hakeem Jones on the carry. A little bit of breathing room out to the 10-yard line. It's going to be a nice pickup of about 7 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for Norristown.
That's just what Norristown needed to give themselves a little bit of room to work here and try to establish a drive here towards the end of this 3rd quarter. A minute 25 left in the 3rd period.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Norristown putting the ball up in the air down here at this end of the field. And Cheltenham probably feels the same way as they swarm and put 8 men up at the line of scrimmage. Makes it very difficult, no matter how quick you are or how good of a blocker you are. It's difficult to block 2 people.
Now this is going to bring up a 3rd down situation for Norristown. You know, that's a problem. You have to be conservative, but
I would like to see them exploit their speed to the wide side of the field, try to get around that corner on the left side. They went to the pass. Crate wide open. That was a gutsy call, Coach.
That was a very gutsy call, and Coach Grove really showed a lot of confidence in his senior quarterback, Jamal Alford, to stand in there with poise and deliver that pass for the 1st down.
Absolutely. That was a big call, big play, and a big 1st down. Coach, what is this you gave me? Is this Diet Coke or Diet Soda?
I believe so, Coach.
I believe it is. You could take a look at me. You know I don't drink Diet Soda. Come on now. At least give me what I wanted. All right, we have a 1st and 10 scenario here. Alford over the ball, backs in the eye. Penalty flag on the play. Could be somebody lining off sides or delay a game. Let's see what the official says.
Delay a game.
Delay a game against Norristown. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty assessed against the Eagles, bringing the ball back to the 12-yard line. It's going to bring up a 1st down and 15 now for Norristown.
38 seconds remaining in the 3rd period.
Alford trots back on the field after receiving the play call from Coach Roger Grove. Terrell split left where he's been most of the day. I formation. Quick pitch back to Hakeem Jones. Not much running room on the right side. Takes it over to the, call it 17-yard line. Another flag on the play.
Well, what has been a fairly clean game for both sides is now starting to get a little bit sloppy.
What was the play call? Another play call again, a penalty against Norristown.
Yes, it is.
What was that? Did you see the?
I believe it was offsides again against Norristown.
All right. Well, that would make it then a 1st and 20 if they take the penalty. Right now, they have not moved the ball back. Perhaps Cheltenham will nullify the penalty. No, they're going to take it, push the Eagles further back. Ball now being moved back inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. It's going to bring up a 1st and 20 for Norristown inside the 10-yard line.
And this is what drives coaches absolutely crazy. You have a couple nice runs to get yourself a little bit of breathing room, and then you have a couple penalties to back yourself up right back where you were. Coach Grove is not happy right now, Tom. I can tell you that.
No, as you said, been very few penalties up to this point. Norristown's in a little bit of a lull right now. And you know, those penalties, as Hakeem Jones gets very little over the right side, those penalties are not penalties of execution. They're mental lapses, and coaches really lose sleep over those types of mistakes.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Both teams go to their sidelines.
At the end of the third quarter, we score 14 for the Eagles, 0 for
And I would anticipate Coach Grove with a little fiery speech here between quarters.
Yeah, this game is wide open, and but what really looms big right now is Cheltenham being unable to score when they had the ball deep in the Norristown territory. They could have gone into the fourth quarter down 7 and make Norristown a little bit more edgy. Norristown still has an opportunity to make a big mistake and not fully suffer for it. That 2-touchdown and 2 extra point differential is very critical. Billy, at this time I would like to mention the Norristown cheerleaders for 2000 football here, and they are Danielle Hodo, Sarah Harrington, Tara Spearman, Shayna Sambrick, Kristen Howard, Teresa Jenkins, Nicole Lawrence, Lisa Lilick, Kristen Spearman, Asia Shawwell, Kelly Kovetsky, Ashley McAvoy, Brandy, I guess that's Lanchewi. I'm going to have to apologize to Brandy, but you know who you are, and Denise Drinkwater, along with Amanda Dukowitz. And Brandy, we'll get your name. If somebody had better handwriting, I'd be able to read it.
And they always do a great job cheering their team on. And, you know, the one young lady was nice enough to retrieve a couple Cokes for us up here. And, you know, the one Coke was diet, as you indicated earlier. But
well, the one she got was regular Coke. The one you just sent one of your basketball players to get was the wrong kind.